Okay guys, let's get started. This is a manual die cutting machine. This is the Platinum by Spellbinders. It's a big one and it has a crank on the side. And I just wanted to show you guys that there are other ways to get die cuts without having a Cricut. So what you do is take this big thick platform and put it down on the base there. Then you're going to make a sandwich with these two acrylic plates. And as you can see on the top of the platform, it shows you different sandwiches you can make. This is a die. It's not sharp enough to cut you when you're touching it, but it does cut through paper. You can find those at Michael's and whatnot. Spellbinders makes a ton. Everybody has them. Here I'm lining it up with a piece of paper. This is how I'm getting that bordered edge on all of my mini album pages. And I'm using the ruler to find center. I don't know why you guys didn't tell me, but this is not center, but I figure it out a little bit later. But again, you can get dies at Michael's, Joann's. Sometimes they come with rubber stamps, and it's just a way to get an exact, perfect cut on something. And this uses pressure. So what I'm going to do is take that die and line it up with where I found center, which is actually not center, but hey, it still worked. And then I just put a little piece of tape to hold it in place because it's important that this doesn't move for this particular project. And once I do find center, I push that little piece of tape down and then I build my sandwich. I take one of those little plates, which is just an acrylic plate. I think it's acrylic, plastic or acrylic. You put that down. And this is a bigger machine, and then you put that one on top of it. Then you're going to push it in and engage. They have smaller machines. They have like the Cuttlebug, then they have the little itty bitty machines that will do super tiny little dies. And so I just cranked it just enough till I heard a clicking sound, and that's just the die cutting through the paper and making an indentation on the plastic. And see, there you go. It's cut. Now I have a nice pretty edge on the side of my piece of paper. You can see that there's a little line there. It will also emboss when it cuts, which means it's leaving that indentation there. They have an embossing mat that works to really get a good deep impression without cutting through the paper. I don't mind it having that little line there though. It kind of adds decoration to the page. So here I am trying to line it up again. And I think I figured that, hey, that's not center. So I tried to figure it out. But like I was saying, you can find these machines smaller. Joann's, Michael's, they're way less expensive than trying to buy a Cricut. A Cricut is an electronic die cutting machine, which you can cut out pieces of paper with the Cricut, but you can also cut out pieces of paper with this here. And I just wanted you guys to know that there is a way of doing or getting exact cuts without having those big machines. Those machines are very expensive. And if you're just starting out, you might want to think about doing something like this. Those dies come in all kinds of shapes, circles, ovals, squares, borders. They have letters, they have numbers, they have a little bit of everything. So you can get perfect exact cuts with your paper wherever you want on your paper. Well, I shouldn't say wherever you want on your paper because this machine, it's a bigger one. I think I can do up to 8 inches side to side, and then the length is the length of the platform. But I'm sure you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you. There's just other ways of being able to cut paper other than scissors and one of those big die cutting machines. Okay, so there you have it. And again, this is a very big, heavy machine, but they have smaller ones, like the little Cuttlebug, which I have too. But the Cuttlebug doesn't have enough space for 6 inches across, and I needed this to be 6 inches.